Clarence Fajardo from BSIT 1B. How culture shape our moral behavior?
Culture does play a significant role within shaping moral behavior and extend even further to social norms because culture itself is an individualistic, man-made concept of collective identity that is open to complete subjectivity. The subjectivity argument for culture can be stretched further and applied to morality, where culture does form the basis of some of our morality is in the fact that we might share certain moral views. What is morally acceptable differs from person to person essentially. The culture bias by which we form our moral opinions is shaped by social acceptance within our own individual societies. There are some obvious exceptions. This is rational can be applied to most moral concepts, where there is a distinct difference between the way in which they are viewed in one culture versus another. In short, culture creates influence and defines acceptable and people act out their own personal behavior.
Cite at least 3 culture, tradition, norms, or practices you have growing up and tell how it affects your understanding about morality.
One of the Filipino culture that directs moral behavior is the traditional way of saying po and opo to those who are older. It goes without saying that this is the most Filipino way of showing respect to those who were born earlier. This gesture or habit was taught from an early age which leads the youth to follow it unwillingly. This creates a Filipino culture of respect towards the elderly directing a moral behavior. Mano po, it becomes a habit since every Filipino parents teach their child to show respect older guys. Doing this will show that you have respect towards the person. When a Filipino child meets an older family member or oldest friend, the youth customarily greets them with a gesture called mano po, taking the older relative's hand and placing it on his or her own forehead to express profound respect for the elder. Last Filipino culture that directs moral behavior were our folktales. The tradition of passing down our ancestor folktales show how we respect our elderly and their beliefs. Folktales represent the origin of something. One example for this is how earthquakes happened before science became what it is today. This is still relevant today as folktales are part of our culture that we must uphold as it contains information, experiences from our ancestors, something it might be hard to believe, such thing as we are already technologically advanced.